What's up, everybody? Happy Monday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're tuning in from. It's great to have you here. It's great to be with you today. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a presentation on the benefits and what you can expect with Fuel Factor X. But before I do that, I just got to hand it back to Chris Baum, our Global Director of Sales here at My Daily Choice, for always doing an incredible job and for just being who he is and keeping the wheels on the bus here at MDC. So, quick background, in 2008, I was a construction company owner. I still am. I had a pretty good sized fuel bill. And if you remember 2008, there's a lot of similarities of what's happening right now. When fuel prices spiked, some inflation was starting to kick in, and I had to go find a solution to the problem. So I did a bunch of research on biodiesels. I did a bunch of research on additives and fuel treatments. And I finally found a product that I got excited enough to try and use. And when I did, I realized some significant benefits, and it really changed the course of the rest of my life, really. But it changed the course of how I looked at fuel and how I seen what kind of benefits there are using our Fuel Factor X product. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we'll get started on this presentation. Maybe, here we go. Can you see that okay, Chris Baum? Give me a thumbs up. I can't see you, but
yeah, I got you. It's
awesome.
Clear.
We was having some issues, so I'm glad that's done and over with. All right. So introducing to the world Fuel Factor X. This, again, is a product that I've been fortunate enough to use for about 14 years now. I've used it in my construction companies, in my trucking companies, around the ranch and the farm, and it's just a phenomenal product, and I'm so happy that one of my best friends on the planet, Mr. Josh Swagel, who also had some experience with this product, was smart enough and was intuitive enough to bring this back to the marketplace so that the masses could benefit from the FFX product. So here's what you can expect by using Fuel Factor X. The first thing it's going to do is going to prolong your engine life. I remember when I first got started with this back in 2008, was using it and testing it for myself. My dad was an over-the-road truck driver, and so I sent a bottle with him. He was going from Idaho to Los Angeles, California. I went out and dumped it in his tanks. He drove to California, and when he got there, he called me, and I was looking for him to tell me how much fuel economy he was going to save, and which he was as well. But he called me. He says, "I haven't fueled the truck yet, so I'm not sure what my fuel economy is." He says, "But this is definitely helping my engine, because twice a week for 5 years, I've backed the same truck into the same dock. And for the first time ever, I can see out of my mirrors enough to read the signs on the building. They're not vibrating no more like they used to from that big 475 cat engine vibrating things." He says, "It smoothed out my engine, and it's lubricating things to where my engine's actually running at a better level than it ever has." And that's why Fuel Factor X is just one of the benefits, is prolonging the engine life. And we'll get into how that all works a little bit later. It'll also enhance your performance. You can expect to see, 5 or 10% more horsepower because of our burn rate modifier in our product. And the big one, and the thing that most people get excited about, is it will improve your fuel economy. I've noticed anywhere from 10 to 15, in some cases 18% over the years, and all the stuff I've put it in and the stuff I've personally used. And what a blessing it is to be able to save money on fuel, especially right now. I mean, fuel prices, I would classify it as a crisis at this point. They're $6 someplace. I actually live in Idaho. Diesel's $5. It was about as cheap as you can get it anywhere in the world. But we have a product that can go across the globe. As you were looking at the chat when people were coming on, there was people, I counted at least 20 different countries tuning in, and we have a product that can help people all over the world, and fuel prices just get more expensive, it seems like, as you travel around the globe. So, and then this is a big one as well, reduces emissions. I mean, for years, we've been aware that, carbon gases are a problem, that climate change could be happening or is happening. And everybody's aware that we would like to do something about it, but not many people are willing to spend money to do something about it. Now, through using FFX, you can reduce your emissions by up to a third just by using our product and saving money while you do it. So now you can go green and get paid to do it through the fuel savings in FFX. So just think about this for a minute. Reduces emissions up to a third. If everybody in the world put this in their tank right now, tonight, and tomorrow, we cut all carbon emissions from vehicles by a third, how incredible would that be? And that's exactly what we can do with Fuel Factor X. So it's a very green product as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about fuel additives versus fuel treatments, because this is what sets us apart, is we're an all-in-one solution. You know, there's a lot of products out there that will boost your octane. There's a lot of products out there that boost your cetane. There's products that will help you, you know, stabilize your fuel so it lasts longer. There's products that will help you lubricate your engines, but there really isn't any that I've found that's an all-in-one solution. That's what makes us a fuel treatment and not a fuel additive. And fuel treatments, this fuel treatment is where you can get the all-in-one solution. So not only are you saving money on your fuel, saving money on maintenance, saving money on so many other things, and keeping your car lasting longer, which is, you know, that's pretty valid right now. I don't know how many of you tried to go out and buy a new car recently, or even a used one. The new ones are 30% over MSRP, and the used ones are more expensive than that, which is just crazy. So taking care of your car, it's never been a more important time than now to do that. And, you know, people's cars, for most people, it's their second largest investment that they'll ever have next to their homes. So you might as well take care of it and save some money while you're doing it. Now we get asked this is probably the question I get the most all the time. What does it work in? Will it work in this? Will it work in that? Here's your answer. It's yes. It works in cars, trucks, motorcycles, generators, tractors, ATVs, over-the-road semis, farming equipment. If it burns fuel, gas or diesel, it will work in it. Even home heating oils or even kerosene. I said at the first, I have a construction company, and here in Idaho, in the winter times, it gets really cold. So we have to heat homes before they're completed and the furnaces are in, and we use kerosene heaters or diesel heaters, little turbo heaters that will heat up the home so the drywallers can get their stuff done and whatever. If you put FFX into that fuel, it will last longer. The tank of fuel lasts longer. What I also noticed is it won't run you out of the house. And those of you that use these jet heaters, you've seen how much emissions come out of those. Actually, your eyes will start watering if you don't open windows from the fumes. And by using this product, it takes care of all the fumes because it's burning the fuel more efficiently instead of wasting it. So you can actually work in it. And I just share that with you to impress upon you that yes, it will work in it. It'll work in any combustible fuel, any combustible engine, because it's chemistry and science. It's not an additive. And again, that's where the fuel treatment is so important. So in order to get the same benefits that you get from using just 1/4 of an ounce, if you look at this bottle, there's that little bulb on top. There's 1/4 of an ounce sitting in that little bulb right there. That treats 20 gallons of fuel. And it does all the things that I've been talking about. In order to do the same, you would have to go into an automotive or parts store. You'd have to purchase 7 or 8 products like you see in this picture, spend $80 or $90, combine them all into your tank to achieve what just a few dollars and 1/4 of an ounce of FFX will do. This right here is what really sets us apart and makes us the most effective fuel formulation on the planet, in my opinion, and everything I've used to achieve the results that we're looking to achieve through using fuel treatments. So there's a good visual for you right there. A lot of product to do what a little bit of ours does. And here's why that is. Organometallic compound is really the main formula of our product of Fuel Factor X. And it's actually chemistry and science. As a matter of fact, in 1973, the 2 gentlemen that invented organometallic compound actually won the Nobel Prize for doing so. And they did it because it worked, right? It actually works, and it's been used for so long in the mining industries. It's been used in the trucking industries and industrial industries, and has done a lot to save people a ton of money on fuel. And what I learned through my meeting people and being involved with this product for so long, and people that's used it for decades, is they've actually noticed in the mining world that they save more money based on the fact that their top ends of their engines are lasting longer through the lubricants in the fuel, which is pretty big because they're saving 13 or 14% on fuel, but they're cutting costs on longevity of their engines and the rebuilds and the remans as well. So the lubricating factor is a big one. There's detergents that keeps your engine running good. There's polymerization retardants that actually help, sludge and build up from forming in your tank, whether it's a tank on your car, or if it's a storage tank at the farm, or a storage tank at the trucking company, or just whatever storage tank you have, your lawnmower for the winter, whatever the case may be. The polymerization retardants and the rust and corrosion inhibitors help keep that fuel lasting good for a long time, along with a fuel stabilizer that will keep fuel great for years and years, and you don't have to worry about it going bad, as well as an emulsifier, which will remove the water from your fuel. So whether you're storing fuel, using fuel, this product needs to be in it. Now, here's what you're going to see as a result of using FFX. In most cases, one of four things will happen. You'll see an instant fuel economy improvement. You'll get to that, 10 to 15%, it'll level off and that's what happens a lot of the time. You'll also see an up and then a down, and then you'll go back up and achieve the results. Or you may see nothing for a little while and you'll see it go up, or you may actually see a dip and then you'll see your fuel economy increase. And I'm going to explain why and how that is, because a lot of people, they'll call with these questions going, is this normal? Is this normal? And the answer is yes. So most of the time, people just see an instant improvement in their fuel economy. Some of the times you'll actually see no noticeable difference, and then you'll see your fuel economy rise and you'll get to the optimum level that you was hoping for. And there's a lot of factors that come into play there, but a lot of it's, horsepower usage, your engine getting cleaned out, the different loads you might be using and things like that versus your baseline compared to where your testing phase is. So just know that it might take a little bit of time, and we'll actually coach you how to get your first few tanks going and what you should do there. You'll also see a dip, and the dip in fuel economy comes from you've ran bad gas, you've ran bad diesel, you got some sludge or buildup in your engine. There's a lot of miles on it. We got to clean that out real good, and then you'll see the optimum result. So if you actually lose a little fuel economy, don't panic. Just keep using it and you'll get to the end result, or you'll actually see instant increase and go back down and go back up. And again, that's just depending on how your computer's reading the burn rate of your fuel, how dirty your engine was, and how much cleaning's happening. So I just wanted to share this with everybody so they understood this is normal. And at the end of the day, as long as you give it the full 7 tank challenge, you'll see that optimum result. And in that last graph, you've seen everybody ended at the same place. And so it's important to give it time. And now I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions, because these are what we get asked the most, and they're valid questions. And I wanted to make sure we address them on this call. This is a big one. Does FFX affect warranties? There's a few reasons it does not. And a couple of them are listed here. One reason is we don't change the fuel specifications. So there's no warranty to void, because one, if you did have an engine problem, they dip your fuel, they don't know what's in there if we're not changing fuel specifications. And there's an ASTM D975 on our website, which is a big fancy word for a test that shows we don't void warranties. There's also an act of Congress passed a long time ago called the Magnuson-Moss Act that in a nutshell says no engine manufacturer can void warranties for any aftermarket products or parts unless they can prove the damage happened by that product or part being added to the car. So in short, unless they can prove this product did something to the engine, they cannot void your warranty over it. And it's never happened, but if it ever did happen and that day came, we do have a general liability policy that will pick up any issues you have with your engine. So trust me and do your own research if you need, but just know you're safe using this in all of your engines, all of your cars. I've been using it for 14 years and I've used a bunch of it in all aspects, from farming to sports cars to trucking industry, construction equipment, etc. We just been down that road and use it, and it's a phenomenal product, and you're not going to have any issues with engine warranties. Are there special instructions for using FFX? Yes, and this is super important. You need to make sure you double dose your first 2 to 3 tanks. And if you look down below, the treatment ratio is right there. But the treat ratio is 1 to 10,000, or 1/4 ounce for 20 gallons. Now, your first 2 or 3 tanks, it's important to double dose because, as we just discussed a little bit ago, we have a cleaning process that needs to happen. We got to get the car's computer on board with what we're doing, and all that happens better by double dosing the first 2 to 3 tanks. So don't just put one foil pack or one single dose in your car and judge the results off of that. Make sure you're double dosing the first 2 to 3 tanks, and you run a few tanks after that as well. And how can I reduce my emissions with FFX? So without getting super scientific and technical, the way the organometallic compound works is it actually atomizes your fuel cells, which makes them a little bit smaller, so they ignite sooner. Therefore, they burn longer, turning more of the fuel into power and less into waste going out the tailpipe. So by increasing fuel economy, you have no other option but to be reducing emissions, because you're using the fuel for power instead of waste. So I hope that answers that question. There's a couple of more here. Does FFX help with lubrication? We've completely covered that. The lubricity agent means that the injectors are getting enough lubrication. And in about 2009 or so, they took a lot of lubricity out of fuels by adding ethanol and different things, so that there wasn't as much lubrication in the fuel, trying to reduce people's emissions. It actually was hurting engines. And adding and introducing FFX back into your fuel will offset all that stuff and make your engine run much smoother and lubricate it to make it last much, much longer. How can I be assured that the use of FFX will not cause my engine to malfunction? It's been tested, tried, and proven. And again, we have an American Society of Technology and Materials test that you can have access to where they've actually taken and ran it for a long time and took the engines apart to see what they look like after and before. And it's pretty incredible what this product can do. Maintenance costs. So it all depends on, where you're at. If you own a whole bunch of equipment and stuff, it's going to save you a whole bunch of money. If you're just putting in your car, it's going to save you a little money. And I'll just tell you a quick story. I don't remember the year. It had to have been probably a 2011 or 12 Ford F-150. It had 70 or 80,000 miles on it. It was one of my fleet trucks. I took it in for an oil change at the 5,000 miles that they recommended. And at the Ford dealer, they take all of your liquids and they put them on a little chart to see how dirty they are, see if there's any metal clippings and stuff in there. And they come out and showed me at 5,000 miles, my engine oil was twice as clean as the truck they were changing with 5,000 miles on it, because my engine was running so much cleaner with less friction that my oil didn't break down as fast. So I was actually able to extend my service intervals. So yes, it has a big impact on maintenance and engine life expectancy. And we already covered this. If people don't see improvement in fuel economy right away, keep going. It'll happen. It always does. It's just the way it works. It's science. It works each and every time. It doesn't, pick that it likes Fords and not Chevys. It doesn't pick that it likes women and not men. If you put it in and you give it enough time, it is science. It will work, and you'll see those results of fuel economy improvement. Now, here's what is so awesome about this product. You can buy one single dose for $4.99. So the very most it costs is $5 to buy a single. It's the most expensive way you can buy it. And if you put $5 in with a 10 to 15% savings, you can expect, $15 back out, $10 to $15 back out. So if I traded you $5 for $15, you would want to trade me again. Or as Josh always says, go to an ATM. If you put $5 in it and it spits 15 or 20 bucks back out, how often are you going to go to that ATM? And it's so true, because everybody we know is going to buy fuel, right? At least 99% of them. Everybody we know is not happy with the fuel prices and is looking for a solution. So this product is for everybody. And for the first time ever, using a product, you can actually save 2 to 3 times what it costs you. I've tried the stock market. I've done okay in crypto, but I've never been guaranteed a 2 to 3% return on my money. And I'll add this too, with a money back guarantee. So if everything I just told you about saving money after you do the 7-tank challenge or 5 to 7 tanks, and you're not happy, we'll refund your money. No questions asked. And you can literally try this risk-free and see all the benefits. One other thing I want to point out is while we're talking about fuel savings, is because the way the organometallic works and the way it makes your fuel ignites sooner, so there's less pre-ignition or none. You can actually drop down from the higher octane levels to the lower octane levels. So if you have a car, I have one, my wife has a Stinger, supposed to run the 91 or 93 octane in it. We've been able to drop down to 87 and still get just as good or better performance out of that car by using FFX. So I'm really saving, 70, 80 cents a gallon by the time I have the difference in the fuel economy, the difference in the octane levels in that vehicle. So if you're running high performance engines and you're spending that extra money on fuel, just know, or on high octane, just know you don't have to do that anymore. It's just another big savings that you'll get through using FFX. Now, if you look down the screen, you can actually get a 4-ounce bottle for $59. That 4-ounce bottle is 16 treatments of 20-gallon tanks. So you put a little 4-ounce bottle in your door panel, you use it for a few months, however long it takes to get through 16 gallons, and it's always there. It's easy to use. And again, the product's backed by so much science and test data and time that it's crazy. And when I seen all this for the first time, because I was skeptical, I'll be honest with you, and I know a lot of people are, I'm sitting here looking at this and I learn all these different things. And at some point I'm going, okay, now this is just an IQ test. There's insurance, there's the Magnuson Moss Act. There's all these reasons why I have no worries about running any product really in my tank. And this one is either going to save me a bunch of money or it's not, and I get my money back if it's not. And so I passed the IQ test in 2008. I started using the product. It's been an incredible journey. And I've actually brought on, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, some friends of mine that have used the product as well in different fashions. And they've had some phenomenal results as well. So you don't have to just take it from me. The first Jim I'm going to bring up is actually a fellow Idahoan. And he's been in the agricultural world. He's done a lot of he's been in the trucking industry a really long time, owned his own trucking company for years, and has used this product for almost as long as I have, 13 or 14 years. And I just wanted to bring him on and have him kind of share with you what he's used this product and what it's done for him. So Casey Ridley, can you unmute yourself and show your beautiful face and tell everybody kind of your experience using this product for over a decade?
Hello, everybody. Chris, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm pretty stinking excited about this product. I've been using this product since 2008. It was January, February, March timeline. And since then, I have literally put this product in every combustible engine I've owned. And I was like many people, I was pretty skeptical because I grew up farming, ranching, different things, and I've tried a lot of other products. And so I was a little bit skeptical about it. But what got me really excited about it was how long it had been around for before we got to, how many, it's been tested in the mining industry for 20, 30 years before we got to use it. And the thing that got me the most excited is the only way I could purchase this product is from somebody I knew. I couldn't buy it from the gas station. I couldn't buy it from, a parts store. And it literally has worked in every combustible engine we've put it in. If you showed that picture, I looked at that and I go, I have every one of them. I've ran it in every one of them. Most people don't know it, but I've been running in Josh's Hemp Works truck since 2019 when we went and bought it. The reason why I kept running it in, because I knew that I was going to have less maintenance problems with that truck driving across the country if we burned it in every tank fuel that we put in it. So, I see people asking questions, what all it will go in. And I just bought my daughter a 1960 Ford pickup because she loves old vehicles. And as soon as we got it home, she asked me, she says, Dad, did you put that in there yet? Because she knows we don't run anything without it. And she knows what it, she's heard me talk about it for 14 years. So I highly recommend getting some of the product very soon, start using it. You're gonna do your own tests on it. And it will, like Chris said, it works every single time. So
Awesome.
it's amazing product. So thank you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking some time out. And it's just awesome to have people that's been around it a long time and have the same results that everybody else has had to kind of share on this call. So I did see a question come up before I bring up my next guest, and they were talking about, somebody said, can I put it in my door panel? Will it stay in the car? The answer is yes. You know, as long as you keep it, you can keep it in your door panel, whether it's cold or hot, the product will be fine, and you don't have to worry about storing it. Any special conditions, you can leave it. I actually have a 1956 GMC right outside that I got when my grandpa passed away in 2009. And I was out there the other day, and it's just been sitting, and I got to restore it. I opened the back seat, and there was a bottle of this stuff in there, still just sitting there. It's been 14 years now, or 13 years now. It's been sitting in there, and so I started using the product. And so, yes, you can store it in cold. You can in your truck, in your car. You'll be fine there. So,
one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
As far as the fuel stabler part of it goes, my chainsaw has probably been sitting in my shop next to that gallon can that you mix your oil with, and I put fuel additive in that. It's probably been 2 years. Well, this weekend I had to go cut some trees down. Well, I went and grabbed my gas can and I grabbed my chainsaw, and after a couple of pulls, it fired right up. I didn't have to change oil, get the fuel out of it. I didn't have to do anything, just fired right up, and it ran like it did 2 years ago. Before this product, we had all kinds of problems with fuel just sitting around. So I love it. I use it every day.
Yeah, awesome. And that's another valid point. The fuel stabilizer in it I touched on, but it's important to people that have lawnmowers and seasonal equipment and different things. So make sure FFX go on that too. So the next guy I'm going to bring up is another good friend of mine whom I've got to know through the fuel industry. He's a well-respected businessman in the automotive world, in the auto mechanics and tire world. He's been incredibly successful in that realm in his life, but he's also been incredibly successful in using and promoting this product. So I thought it'd be cool to have Mr. Dale Franklin from Vermont come on and spend a few minutes with us, just kind of tell your story about, what you've seen, what you're excited about, and your experience with FFX.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man.
As you said,
Thanks for being
I
here.
own a tire and automotive center. I've owned it since 1984. In 2008, one of my friends came to me and said, Dale, I got a fuel additive that I'd really like you to try, and I think you can sell to your customers. And, I was a little reluctant at the beginning because, I've seen a lot of fuel additives and most of them didn't do what I thought they should do, but he's my friend. So I said, all right, I'll try it. Well, before I was going to let my customers see it or use it, I was going to use it myself. So I put it in my truck, and in a period of 4 tankfuls of fuel, I went from 16.0 miles per gallon to 19.2. And I said, okay, I think I got something here. So I started selling it to my customers, and they loved it. They loved it. And over time, we sold hundreds and hundreds of bottles to my customers, and they became repeat customers. And it's been great that way. About a week and a half after I started selling it, the guy that introduced it to me came to me and said, you can also build a team of salespeople with this. This is a network marketing situation. And I said, I'm looking for something else that I can do. I like challenges, so let me give it a try. Well, I couldn't believe what happened. I started telling a few of my friends about it, who told a few of their friends, who told a few of their friends. It leapfrogged the Atlantic and got into Africa, got into Europe, got into Eastern Europe. Jumped through the Caribbean down into South America. The next thing I knew, I had distributors all over the world, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. And so when I was all said and done, I think at my peak I had almost 28,000 distributors in about 62 countries, and it took a life of its own. So that's what it did for me back in the day when the price of fuel was high. Then the price of fuel dropped and we lost a little momentum on it. And now we have it through MDC. We have a new push off for it. We have the highest fuel prices we've ever seen. And I'm ready to rock and roll this again. And I'm going to say to all my friends around the world, get ready, because I'm coming.
You better believe that. You better believe that. Dale, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate you. And I look forward to so much more success with this product in our relationship. Before I bring up the next guest and the final guest I've invited on this call, I seen this question come up, and I meant to touch on this earlier. Right now, FFX is currently available for pre-order, meaning you can order now, and we're going to start shipping it around the 18th in the following countries: USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Hungary, Romania, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Taiwan, Costa Rica, Panama, Peru, Ecuador, South Africa, and Nigeria. And then a lot more will be coming up the first part of May as far as markets. But right now, today, you can order in those markets, and we'll start shipping around the 18th of this month. So just another week or so now. So I want to get that answered. And Dale was talking about the world, so it made me think of it. So appreciate you talking about that, Dale. So the next gentleman I'm going to bring up, Dale mentioned, there's a business opportunity involved here through promoting FFX. And one thing about our company is we're not just FFX. We're a complete house of brands. There's a ton of products that our company backs. FFX just happens to be our newest one. But this gentleman I met in the very first company I ever got in, which was the one. I've only done the two, which is now the one. So I've really done the same one for about 14 years now. But I met our CEO and founder, Josh Wagle, in that company. I also met this gentleman in that company. And we all kind of got up to the highest rank around the same time the company had. So the company actually had to create a new rank. And by the time we was done there was only two guys that ever got to that rank. One was our CEO and founder, Josh Wagle, and the other was Mr. Chris Bailey. And nobody knows how to build a residual income in a business using this product as good as Chris Bailey. So I want to have him on this call. You never know where he's at. It looks like he's home in Florida today, but that's just amazing that he's not somewhere in the Caribbean or Maryland with the grandkid or whatever he's doing. But Chris, thanks so much for being on the call with us, man. I love you a bunch and respect you, and I'm just so thankful that we're able to do this together again and go help a bunch of people save some money and earn some money doing it. So Chris Bailey, the call is yours, brother.
All right. Thanks so much, Chris, man. It's so good to hear everybody's voice, hear everybody on the Zoom today. And I just want to say a few words, guys, that this product has completely changed my life. I mean, it's changed my life, my family's life for generations to come, and everybody on here. And I just want to encourage everyone that, really get excited about this product. Let me just share my story with you guys. So I met Joshua Wagle, Chris Robinson, Dale Franklin, Casey, everybody in that home-based business that we were in years ago. And this was the only product that we had. Okay. And I didn't have a lot of experience. I barely graduated high school. I had to go to summer school twice. I haven't been to college, but I just got excited about this thing, man. And I started using it, and it blew my mind. And I started just sharing it with people. And just like everyone else, we had teams all over the world. I was traveling the world every month doing trainings and presentations. But more importantly, man, we were just changing people's lives. So I just want to encourage everyone to understand that this company, My Daily Choice, is 10 times better than the company that we were in years ago that had the product. Not only that, but this was the only product our company had. And now this company, has so many amazing products that, can really support FFX, or FFX could be a supporting product to many other amazing products. Our company uses science and technology, and we are a green company to have better products than you could purchase over the counter. So that's what I really love about this, is that we have the diversity with all the different product lines and the compensation. I challenge anyone, this company's compensation plan, I'm gonna tell you, being transparent, this is the reason why I joined this company. The compensation plan is most amazing. I've been with multiple companies. I've done very well in the industry. The fuel treatment got me free from ever working a 9-to-5. And then, I've done well with other companies. But when I saw what My Daily Choice is doing, the compensation plan and what people are earning at this company compared to other companies that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, it's mind blowing. So one thing I love is I trust our CEO and co-founders of the company. I know they're brilliant. They're doing amazing things. And we're just getting started. So guys, get your position, get started with the company, get excited, use the product, and just share it with people. And it's going to be a mind-blowing experience. So with that being said, Chris, I want to turn it over to you. Thank you so much for having me on the call today.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Great job as always. Appreciate you. We'll actually see you on a call a little bit later tonight. So here's where I'm going to leave this in. You know, Chris is just talking about how he was able to help people earn money, and he earned money and through saving people money. I mean, think about that concept. There is no demographic. Everybody we know is going to buy fuel at some point. And all we're doing is helping people save money and sharing a product that will do that for them. And we get paid in return for helping people save money on a product they're forced to buy anyway. The business opportunity here is global, it's massive. And I promise you, I wouldn't even be in this industry had it would not been for this product. And because I got involved in this industry because of this product, and I hope you do the same, I've been wildly successful and blessed beyond measure, and probably what I deserve through getting a hold of the right thing at the right time and taking advantage of it. So whether you're looking at this from a customer standpoint, whether you just want to use the product risk-free with our money-back guarantee, or you see the benefit of getting in early and getting pre-positioned before this really kicks off on the 18th, either way, you need to get back to the person that invited you on this webinar or on this Zoom call and let them know where you're at. Let them know if you want to become a customer, you want to become an affiliate. Either way is great. Get your product order placed. I will tell you, in our first 24 hours, I don't know where it's at now, but we've done over 25 or 26,000 units in just our first day open last Saturday. So make sure you get involved early and get in front of this, because there won't be a second relaunch. We only have one, and it's happening right now. So I'm going to let Chris Baum wrap this call up. He may have some announcements and stuff, but get back to the person that invited you on this call. Let them know where you're at. Let them know how you want to get started, whether it's a customer and affiliate. They can send you the website, the link. If you have questions, they can help you answer those or plug you into people that can. But I'll just be the first to welcome you on board as a customer or an affiliate, and I can't wait. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. So with that being said, Mr. Chris Baum, back to you, brother. I'll let you wrap this one up.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. We got Chris and Chris on the call. So there's so many Chris's. I know it gets a little confusing, but I just want to give a big shout out to Dell, Casey, and Chris Bailey for taking the time, jumping on here, sharing your testimonials, because those are powerful. You guys have had a lot of success with this. You know how powerful this product is. So for all of you tuning in, this is an opportunity you do not want to miss. So take advantage of it right here, right now. And then again, to my best friend here, Cannabis Cowboy, appreciate you always taking the time and hopping on here and sharing your wealth and your knowledge. So thank you. We will be posting this replay. We'll get this up and ready to go. So if you have anybody who missed this, get this out to them, have them tune in, watch this. And then we have more webinars coming up this week, so you won't want to miss out on those either. But thank you. As I like to say, the difference that makes a difference is action, and each and every one of you took it with over 1,000 people on this call. So thank you all for tuning in. You guys be well and get your FFX. Cheers.